Because stroke is a loss of function in brain function, and because the brain is what we call specialized, different parts of the brain do different things, a stroke can express itself in many different ways. Strokes tend to occur in certain patterns which are recognizable. At McKay-Dee and in the Intermountain system, we've been using an acronym called BFAST. And the B stands for balance, E for eyes, F for face, A for arm, S for speech, and then T is for the time. So if we were to go through those, a problem in balance, a problem in our eyes, and that can be either in vision, it can be in double vision, it can be a loss of vision, it can be bumping into things that we're not recognizing that are around us. In the face, we see a droopy face on one side or the other, not usually both sides. In the arm, we're looking at a sudden onset of weakness. The arm just stops working, a loss of sensation or a loss of coordination. In speech, we can see what is technically speech, which is, are my words slurred? And even to the point that individual nerves can be identified, so the loss of pa sounds is one nerve, the loss of la sounds another nerve, the loss of ga sounds yet another nerve, and we can tell where the stroke is happening. And slurring, therefore, so if you can't say Peter, you're saying eater, and you've lost the P and you become slurred in your P's. That's speech. And then in the BFAST acronym, we also can include language, which is the loss of ability to come up with the words that I need to say, the ability to understand what people are saying to me, the ability to repeat. So that's a higher level of speech. There are numerous amounts of other ways that strokes can be recognized, and it is really brain function by brain function. We can see strokes where people have had a sudden change in their mood, not usually just kind of depression or happiness or those kinds of things, but suddenly they're a different person. They're more irritable, or their sense of how to decide what's right and wrong has changed. We've seen strokes where people have dissociative reactions where they feel like they're floating. Charles Dickens described walking down a street and not being able to read half the signs on the left side. So people experience strokes quite differently. I think the BFAST criteria is useful. If I am experiencing a stroke myself, it is usually because I have preserved enough brain function to have self-awareness. There are people who have strokes where they have completely lost their function, usually on the left side, and are unaware of it. So we don't always recognize in ourselves when a stroke is happening. And family members, friends, those around us can see that we're bumping into things, that we're not using our left hand, that our right hand is kind of clumsy and not right. The face has gone droopy, the word has become slurry even though the person thinks they're saying the right thing, or they're using the wrong word for the thing that they're trying to talk about. So these can all become signs of a stroke. The key feature for the stroke is the sudden loss of function. And that really can be quite a bit. It's basically anything that the brain does that you can suddenly lose.